And they got their accounts banned because of me. That's actually hilarious. All right, we got Dude, getting to S rank is really just beating PvP, right? Is that not the case? Is that not the case, guys? It's just everything's PvP. I feel like this is a PvP lesson series, right? No? Let's see if we could start beating some A-rank Protosses, man. I'm not sure if I can. I'm not sure it's possible. I feel like I'm punching above my weight class now, you know? Alright, let's get that 10 gateway going. We'll scout immediately. I'm curious to see how often our opponents still go for 2 gateways at A rank and up. Cyber core going. Get a zealot going. Just in case people didn't know why you make the zealot and hold the probe, is you wanna. It really maximizes the production from your gateway because otherwise it would be doing nothing anyways. So you trade basically like, you know, maybe half of a probe or something like that to squeeze in an extra unit. And zealots in general in PvP are very strong because even though they get outranged and out-microed easily, they're still very effective because they soak up damage, right? Goons do 20 damage to each other, but they only do 10 damage to zealots. That's why in general you want to have zealots in front, because if they're not target firing, the zealot is really effective at just being a meat shield. So generally speaking, oh, I don't know, you can just pass by me like that. Generally speaking, it's just really good to have that going. We'll make that pylon at 22, so we don't get fly blocked. It's like he is gonna see it. But at what cost? So you did get to see my third pylon, which means he knows this is not a 3 gateway or an immediate 2 gateway push, right? So he has the information advantage. However, I have a slight advantage because I killed a probe. That said, my probe is going to return to gather some more information to see whether or not he's going for a push of his own. Does anyone remember when the probe needs to come back in, especially for this build? And also just make a pylon over there. Really, this is just to block out any scouting information, right? So he's trying to just poke in. Really, he's actually just looking for range upgrades. Go ahead and make that observatory. And we'll bring that probe in. And we should be ready to run away if we need to. If it is a 2-gate. If I don't see the zealots, if I don't see goons, then I need to back up ASAP. Yep, back up, back up, back up. 3 gates, exactly. That's why we have to be careful. In this situation, we have to block the ramp and basically don't let your opponent go up the ramp, okay? Don't let them get up that ramp. Oh. The most important thing about this is my opponent here went for a 3 gateway push, and the weakness of his build is precisely that he cuts probes at 21 in order to get this push out, which means that he's going to be really, really vulnerable to a counter push, right? And we can go ahead and verify all of this. I lost a few workers and I had to pull some, workers there, but that's actually okay. Oh, he doesn't even have it's funny. Doesn't even have a nexus? That's actually crazy. So he actually might just be trying really, really hard to just, yeah, he is. Boom, headshot. So funny. And really just focusing on this because he doesn't have an expansion, right? So it's really impossible for him to get literally anything done, right? He's just trying over and over and over to get in. One little tip is your... oops, I thought I built one of those. The Reaver will first fire in the direction that it is facing, okay? Kind of remember that. GG. We win. So when you're facing a 3-gate, that's why like that probe scout is really important, because if you don't see them when you come in, that means they're en route to your base. And when they're en route to your base, you have to move up back up your ramp immediately, okay? That's true for 2-gate, right? Because it comes right at 5 minutes. Usually a 3-gate push comes slightly later, which it did come later, right? You don't want to take free shots as you go up your ramp because you can easily lose there. So against a 3-gate push, you have to be a little bit careful And sometimes I would say for safety, you should probably bring a few probes to just block the ramp. Just because the mischance firing uphill is always going to be a little bit dicey, so to speak, right? It's a little bit dicey. Sometimes they get the lucky hits and they can really bust you. So you should usually try to bring some probes, right? I think I got too overconfident there and didn't bring them, but I eventually brought them when I needed to, and I got them with the drill. That build that he did was 3 gateways on 21, which means that he has to cut probes on 21. So it's actually okay if I lose like 7 or 8 probes after the attack, because I'm still going to be ahead. Yo, Shoop, thanks for the bits. One gun wasn't firing, really? Well, sometimes goons are dumb. I think I could have done a lot better job of target firing there. Yeah, so that was a little dicey, but once we hold, it's basically game over. Because that build is pretty all in. Pretty all in, I would say. I mean, like, sometimes you could do enough damage so that you can play on. It's kind of true, but I would say for the most part, it's pretty all in, I'd say. See if we can find that game. It's really just playing a bunch of PvPs, man. Isn't it crazy? But I feel like PvP, honestly, I used to not like it, but really viewing PvP as your opportunity to practice your micro is honestly, like, if you think about it that way, it's it's not so bad then, right? Oh, okay. 2600 barcode. Just like that, baby. Look at that. Easy. Oh, I had to sit up there for a bit. I had to break out a character and just I feel like that's kind of cheating, but I kind of wanted to play it and just like say, okay, you know what? Let's pause the journey and play him straight on. I'm always down to get I'm always down to fight higher ranking Zergs. I always get pumped when I see like a 24, 25, 2600 barcode Zerg. I sat up. I'm like, oh shoot! All right. Let's get serious here. I love playing really good Zergs though on ladder. It's like a really good challenge. Even though I get wiped, but I really enjoy it though. Okay. I mean, now we have a B Zerg, so probably don't have to play as hard. Let's see if we can maybe just focus on executing our build order and just winning with a strong goon push, right? And that's kind of the theme of PvZ, right? The theme of PvZ is, yeah, obviously getting your build order and just focusing your attention on Goon High Templar and just mowing your opponents down. Turns out Goon High Templar is very strong. Okay. Forwards fast expand. Typically, I like to send my probe to the same direction as their overlord. I don't think it really matters that much, but at least if they scout me first, I can scout them first as well. I think with forwards fast expand though, it doesn't matter a whole lot, right? Because, you know, like, I'm double scouting anyways, so I don't think it really changes much of anything. Oh, looks like we found him. That is a... the hell? Gas. Why do people do this? Is this what happens? Is this what people do on ladder? Like a 12 pool gas or something? So strange. 12 pull is probably the worst possible build you can ever do in ZVP. It's actually the most nonsense thing in the universe. So the big question we're trying to answer here is, obviously we're not going to get like a straightforward game. Is our opponents playing for, you know, speed or, you know, layer, right? Like, how are they gonna play with this? And looks like they are going speed, I think so. I mean, took the drones off gas. I also don't see his hatchery's like pretty darn late, right? So we're gonna go ahead and make 2 cannons, right? 2 cannons is necessary against 6 lings. I presume that's gonna be a ling, although I guess I don't technically know yet. Okay. So I'm gonna send it out, and I did the shift click trick. Now I don't know if I can actually succeed with that. So let's see if he actually decides to follow my probe, or if he decides to send them. Okay, if he decides to send them, then we have to do a probe block, just because, you know, lings can be dangerous. Also, generally speaking, I would say, like, if you want to be really safe, getting 3 cannons is a good idea. It's actually not terrible as well. This is more a response against 9 full speed. It's a little risky for me to be attacking that. I shouldn't really do that. So against this, we can't really do the build that we wanted to do, which is to play, you know, with speed zealots, right? Ideally, you know, mainly because we don't know if our opponent is teching or not, right? So if we don't know that they're actually teching, then we're forced to effectively play with Corsairs, right? The Corsairs then enable us to... Oh, I kind of messed up because I don't have any room. Should I just pull the Stargate right there? I hope I can fit that. Oh gosh, I think I really messed up. That's like really bad. I hope I can fit the Stargate here, please. Okay, that's a really funny Stargate positioning, but we'll take it. So it looks like this guy is trying to play a little bit more crafty by using the speedlings to deny scouting information than to actually kill much of anything here. And we will want to make a cannon at both bases at around 5:30-ish, so in a bit. Now you can play some technical openers like sending a zealot out, right? That would be a nice move. Just because a lot of times they kind of under make lings here to just scare you. So sending zealots out will be a really good idea, but I'm not gonna play like that. We're just gonna play basically blind and kind of catch all, so to speak. We'll also make +1 air weapons, and if he doesn't have a lair, we'll go ahead and cancel that. Let's go ahead and scout. Let's see what's going on. Let's also make a Citadel. Let's get our tech up. Keep making zealots. Hydras. This means I don't need to make that. Oh! Queen. Very interesting. Oh wow. Okay. Very interesting. Kind of a clown towny build. Looks like this is sort of a, you know, I want to play Hive. Against this, you sort of just start, you know, teching up. The thing about this kind of build is it's very, because you know they made a Queen's Nest, right? And if they made a Queen's Nest, then, you know, they're really not trying to, like, bust you like crazy here. So just kind of carry on with your build, I presume. Yeah. So this is kind of just like a macro-oriented build, so don't over-defend. Looks like I actually got my Forge Snipe, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and make another like double Forge here. And the reason for that is I just want to basically what I want to do is just go for one gigantic push, okay? That's gonna be the goal. I'm just gonna go for one gigantic push and try to bust them, and if it fails, then it fails. Generally speaking, when you go for a gigantic push, you want to be heavy on your storms, okay? So we got 6 gateways, let's pump up to 8. I would actually try to even just like move out once I have an observer, because one of the big things that they try to do with this kind of build is they try to basically scare you and then just macro like crazy, okay? And so let's just kind of, you know, stick to our game plan here. See what we can get done. I think it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, by the way, to actually bust a Hive Zerg, just because they have, you know, access to you know. Let's just go ahead and kill this. And it's always good to just, you know, if they're in such a defensive stance, they really are not looking to, you know, be aggressive out on the map. Remember how much of a like technical opener they opened with, right? Let's just clear our thing down there. Just so we can like maybe start making some expansions, at least when we're ready. And again, we're completely focused on macro right now, right? And honestly, I don't know. I don't know if this is actually gonna work, right? But again, like I said, the most important thing is to be decisive, right? When in doubt, just be decisive. Okay? We have our +1 weapons, +1 armor going, right? Let's make our Nexus. Again, I'm macroing while I am, you know, basically kind of idle, so to speak, making my upgrades here. And then, yeah, we're just gonna try to see what we can do, right? Again, we're gonna focus all of our attention here. Use their stuff to our advantage. Right? We got him, right? We can macro back at home, and I think we actually got him. It's pretty straightforward, right? And that's it. Because he went for such a you know, speed opener like that, he was just very low on eco, so I knew that when I would come out with my push, I would have the advantage. Even though he has a tech advantage with defilers, it's really difficult for them to, you know, stop that as long as Protoss doesn't throw their units away. Okay. We got a barcode Zerg. I don't know if I should be upping the mechanics to play an unranked player, but we'll just keep playing normally, and then if we lose, we lose. Keep doing the same thing. Yo, Tasteless! What's up, man? Thanks for the gifted sub. Thanks, man. We gotta get Tasteless. Gotta get Tasteless in here. Alright, same thing. The B B to B. He's gonna get to B to A soon. B to A. But Tasteless is in Korea though, so very different experience. B rank in Korea is, it's like there's at least a 20% gap. I mean a 10% gap, right? Minimum. Foreigner land, you know, you see all these BSL people getting like 2400 MR or 2500 MR. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, we know where you live. We know where you live. He's gonna be over here. That's an overpool. Overpool cross spawns means that they're not gonna be able to get lings in time. For this. Looks like a very, very standard opener. So usually you want to start the cannon as the Ling pops out, but you have a little bit more give because it's cross spawns. So there it is. But like I said, we're good. It's not chasing me. Interesting. Yeah, absolutely. I'll explain after. You absolutely have to punish with the cannon rush. Just because 12 hatchery or even 11 hatchery or whatever is just it's so broken in PvZ. PvZ is already a broken matchup. So that's why if you go Forge Fast Expand, you have to punish it. Even when I go Gate Expand, I do a Gate Forge Cannon Rush. It's just criminal, you know? Oh my gosh, it's so laggy. Just very criminal for Zergs to get away with hatch first. It's crazy. Especially 12 hatch. Like 11 hatch is bad, but 12 it's like they could make 973 and like just sacrifice nothing to get there. It's actually all right. They're going lair. I mean, so this I have a feeling this guy's like an S-ring Zerg. So I'm gonna do my little trick where I'm gonna send my probe all the way there and shift click back to the mineral and just orb walk it through. If you ever do this to Hawk, he'll accuse you of being a cheater. So there's an added bonus on top. Okay, so we're gonna get +1 weapons because we're playing easy mode build. Focusing primarily on just making workers, making zealots non-stop. Trying to get to that 41 at around 7 minutes. This guy seems... I just smell it, you know? Sometimes you just smell it. You just smell it. This guy's like a, I don't know, some sort of S-rank god. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just smell it. Can't really tell exactly what it is, but something smells, man. You guys know what I'm talking about it? You know when someone just smells? Alright, we're gonna make a gas afterwards because we'd like to get Templar Archives to deflect any sort of mutas. So we indeed confirm, yeah, speed. Can I get in? Can I get in? Can I? Ah. Oh, it's so laggy. Jeez. This is why Brood War sucks, man. This is why Brood War sucks. Alright, we're gonna make Templar Archives. Because it's cross spawns again, even the mutas have a hard time getting to my main base, and even if they try to get to your main base, what happens is that they'll find the speed zealots on the way. When they find the speed zealots on the way, they'll chase the speed zealots, right? So it's okay to... So this game, I'm gonna make a slight technical adjustment and get my gateways before... Oh, I think I'm pylon blocked? Really? Oh my gosh. Oh no, that's so sad. So sad. Okay. Send out your zealots. I'm missing one, unfortunately. And then afterwards, we want to get a second cannon in the main, just because we don't want a muta rush to screw us, right? Afterwards, we'll eventually get Storm. We'll add on 6 gateways and see what damage we can get done. In this case, we'll want to just target fire workers if we can. And in this situation, we're already ahead. We're already way ahead. Way ahead. Way ahead. Let's make a second worker. I mean, second thing over there. Let's make a Dark Archon. Now it's possible, because mutas do counter this, so depending on the level of our opponents, we can certainly still be in trouble, which is fine. Let's go ahead and make an Archon there. We'll use this to kind of zone out any sort of mutas that come in, just because it's really hard. It's just really, really hard for them to do much of anything. Can I target fire? Oh, it's lagging. Dude. Oh my goodness, man. Alright, let's make another one. So, I'm gonna make a third cannon. Reason being, this guy seems to be like producing more, you know, mutas over there. And one way they can counter what I'm doing is to bomb my main base. Like if they're a really good Zerg, that's what they would do. When I move out, they would bomb my main base. That's why Dark Archon is a good build every now and then, but it's not viable all the time. And generally speaking, it's just hard for them to micro against an Archon. It's lagging, which ironically is favoring me. So I guess I shouldn't be complaining about it, huh? And, you know, now that we have about 400 gas, we can produce goons everywhere, except for that one in the middle, because the SimCity is going to block it out, unfortunately. But we'll try to make goons. And basically, we'll just try to come out with a really strong push, right? We got a lot of damage done. We're feeling pretty good about where things are. And we're feeling getting better now. Can I get it? Oh, wow. Unfortunate. Goodness, it is really laggy, dude. It is like unforgivably laggy. Once that comes out, it's a little sloppy there, but we should be in a very nice spot. And the second all of our, you know, macro rounds come out, we should be golden. Very premature attack here by the Zerg. They really should not be doing that. Oh my goodness, this lag is insane. Alright. I mean, it's whatever, but it's always good practice again to... Oh shoot. Make High Templars behind all this. Oops, I don't have any more. I might be able to just overwhelm. Goodness gracious, man. This is like so hard to play in, but let's just go ahead and end it though. Let's just end the misery. This is just way too painful. Oh my goodness. That's so crazy. Generally speaking, it's always really good to make an Archon. The Archon is just so important. We're good. Okay, we'll just focus on good micro, and we win. So sometimes, like, you do have to be careful, like when your opponent starts to meet you in the middle of the map. So I think what I've been kind of showing is macroing while you're en route to your opponent's base, which is generally good, but you should not snooze because sometimes you can get caught in the middle, especially against Hydras. Lots of Zergs like to dance their Hydras and just like snipe off High Templars. I didn't expect him to do that there because he got all of his mutas sniped, so it was just a really objectively bad decision by my opponent. Or they could do it with like one group of Hydras, but he was way too aggressive with, you know, things there, so. Alright, finally a PvT. Okay. S rank. Especially if he's Korean. We might need to play... I don't know if we can play in lecture mode. I'll try to play the same style. Same macro, beginner-friendly style. But I'm obviously going to have to ramp up how much I try here if I want to beat this guy. So I might be talking less and focusing a little bit more. Oh, I forgot about the cannon rush. I'm sorry. Ah, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Remind me. Remind me. Remind me. Yeah, the cannon rush is so important. Cannon rushes are so important in PvZ. Even if you don't cannon rush, you can just fake the cannon rush, and it's really important, not just because of the cannon rush, but the threat of it. You can start kind of like meta, like mind gaming, you know, opponents who you keep playing against. You know, just by like, oh, am I gonna cannon rush you, or is this a fake, right? And it just makes Zerg like, you know, just kind of makes them panic a lot. Obviously, like, really, really good Zergs know exactly what to do at all times, but at the same time, sometimes, you know, like, they get thrown off guard. They want to play their build and kind of panic, and maybe they bring one more drone than they're supposed to, and it really just, Okay, so we're still gonna play 23 Nexus, completely fine. I'd say it's a lot more prevalent to watch, to see, what is it? Like rangeless openers or one Zeal, one Zealot, one Goon openers at the higher levels, just because aggressive play is good, or if you're gonna open core, getting slightly more greedy is important. But like I said, 23 Nexus is okay. It's just very sad if your opponent goes Rax Expand. Then you are very sad if that happens. Especially because I'm not going for a Probe Scout either, which means I can't punish with Proxy Robo. But high-level Protoss play, even against Protoss and Terran, it all skews towards aggressive play, like Pylon Search to Gas Steal, even on 4-player maps, right? Sounds crazy, but people like me do it all the time. Nice to get that. I don't believe he's actually at the bottom right. He did see the Nexus, I think. It's nice to get a shot out like that. It's okay to like deplete your shields. I took a little bit of health damage, but that's okay. I also killed a Marine, so I'm happy with that. If you think about it, it's 18 health for an entire Marine, so that kind of works out in my favor. Problem is, we don't know what he's doing because he kind of zoned me out. That said, I'm not terribly worried just because my build is pretty catch-all. And a good heuristic is 6 goons is good too. It's good for it's unfortunate. I think I just lose. Oh yeah, I had one over there. Looks like that's man, that's the problem when they like zone you out like that. You just don't know what they're doing. What I did was catch all, but at the same time, was it a 2-fact? It was, it had to be. Yeah, it was, okay. Alright, Cannon Rush. What map do you want? Alright. So, and then do you do pylon search? Okay. Alright, yeah, perfect. Alright, let's do it. Let's just try it. Oops. I would say against good Zergs, like cannon rushing is probably like 50-50. Obviously, if you execute it, like if it's 50-50, if both players know what they're doing. That said, you know, not all players know exactly how to stop a cannon rush or cleanly stop it. So as long as if you do it cleanly and your opponent is not clean, then you have, you know, some edge of your opponent, right? That said, you know, PvZ is a broken matchup, so I'll take 50-50 all day. You know, I'm happy to flip a coin with Zergs all the time. Whenever I can do it, I'll always do that. You gotta be the gambling degenerate. That's better than just playing on just because PvZ is just such a nasty. Oh, sorry. A 10. Sulky, I can't block. Really? Is that true? Well, maybe what he's saying is not like 100% of the time, you know? It's still, there's still luck involved, right? But once you start playing Zergs like Crossy, they'll start moving shot you with their first drone, and like they do all kinds of crazy. Okay, let's assume that our opponent's at bottom left, right? Let's just like save it. See the hatchery will be building, send the second probe there. Then I'll just immediately start it like right here, and then we'll make the cannon, the second pylon over there. So let's assume that like the drone's coming, right as they come, spend it. And so I guess like a couple of important things, right? This is a really nice spot because the only way the drones can actually get into this wall off here is like through this, right? And they have to go up and then left, right? So it all gets there. And if you're a Zerg player, you should deselect one drone from your group and then press stop and then try to jump it over, okay? The other way is through this gas, right? So I think like the micro is pretty important, I'd say, right? Where what you could do is basically, okay, well, how do I say this? I think there's two different ways you can do this, right? If you want to be super safe and you want to make sure that you absolutely get a cannon out, you can make the pylon right here instead of there, right? This actually gives more room for the Zerg to actually jump inside. Whereas if you made the pylon there, you can completely wall yourself in and almost guarantee that you'll get one cannon. However, the problem with one cannon is it's not going to be sufficient. You need to get a second cannon over there with your second probe. Otherwise, one cannon will never kill a good Zerg because they'll make a sunken colony and then they'll kill it, right? So I like to do something like this. As they're sending their drones, they're going to go either that way or this way. If they go left, you should immediately start to... you should immediately kind of do something like this, right? And then A move and start attacking. And the second that they start to, you know, like jump over, target fire their worker, right? And if they only get one, you basically solo them inside. And then if you solo them inside, you're golden, right? Because if you get first hit, then you're good, right? So that's kind of just like that. Let's say for sake of example that, you know, they get a couple of drones over and you're screwed. Or let's say they go this, actually, let's go with the gas example, right? Let's say they go gas. If they go gas, they can only jump one at a time, right? So if they jump one at a time, you can actually block the pylon. And then as the drone is kind of jumping over, you just target fire them. And then again, if you get the first shot off, then you're gonna win, right? So as long as you get two cannons in, you should be good, right? Honestly, I would try to just make a third cannon. Generally, it's also good practice to just like try to jump your units over. Also, another thing is that if there's a gas there, you can slide in and out. Okay. So if you had a you know, cannon like this, it's good. I mean, you could leave it there because this is blocking one of the lings. But if you want to get out, make it get out, and then you can kind of like micro, right? Another important thing is when your second probe is coming. It has a very important job, right? One, it has to not die, but two, oops, sorry, let's get this back in. Right, as you're building your cannons, let's say you kind of like block, And then you're like target firing your drone, make a cannon, then you cancel that, you make a cannon. Your second probe has an important job to try to block their, you know, drones from making creep colonies, right? So as long as you can, you know, stall it or block it, then you should be fine. 2 cannons isn't going to guarantee that you're going to win it. Honestly, if you're just cannon rushing, I'll just make a 3rd cannon. Like, why not? You're all in anyways. And so that's basically what I will do. If we kind of go over to the other sides, it's pretty straightforward for like the other sides. But you most certainly need at least 2. Never do a 1 cannon rush. 3 cannon guarantees it, right? And depending on whether or not they're making sun colonies, you can just cancel it if they want to give up the hatchery, right? Same thing over here, right? You want to make the pylon like right by the gas, right? And then you do something like this. Right? If you want to block, you can. Target fire, target fire, target fire, or you can block again like that. Because if you block, they might be able to jump over this way, right? But if they're jumping over, you target fire, target fire. Now, if they get 2 drones over, then you abort mission and just cancel, right? So as long as you kill that first drone, and then you can just do this, then you're golden, right? The other thing you can do is you can just block them from making the extractor themselves. But I would say that's kind of stupid because then the drone can just come right in. So I would not usually do that, especially if they're like a smart 3rd. So, and also, even if they have the motion of going into the gas, they'll drill anyways, and you won't be able to do that. So I would not recommend blocking the gas. I would just do block, target fire as they're coming in, or block. You know, target fires are coming in, right? And as long as you kill that first drone, boom, boom, 3rd cannon, and then should be game. So the 50-50 part, I'd say, is if they get 2 drones over, then you're dead. Does that make sense? I don't know if you have any other questions, Tasteless. Can you only drop 1 at a time with gas? There's also a gate cannon rush. I don't know if you want to learn gate cannon rush, but that's also very effective as well. Why not? Why don't we just talk about gate cannon rush? Yeah, it's 1 at a I guess so. I guess you can do multiple. I have heard about that. You know that one? Okay. Yeah, gate cannon rush is very effective and nice. Dominator. I'll be honest, I haven't played these maps from these newer seasons very much. I'm not super familiar. Where the hell are they? Here? Do they even have it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's try it. Can you cannon rush here? I don't even know if you can. I don't think you can cannon rush. Maybe. Oh, then in that case I would not, unless it's gate cannon rush maybe. Well, I mean, let's just check. I mean, who cares about the build really quick? If you're going forge fast expand, I would certainly not do it if you could. Well, not here, right? I mean, unless it's like something strange. No, you can't do it there. I felt like it seemed like maybe you can fit it over there. The bottom. You mean like this? Oh, I see. Like a 1. That's actually so funny. That's actually amazing. I think I actually like that. I want to take note of that. If it's a gate cannon, then I would do that, but not if it's forge fast expand, because then if you only have 1 cannon, a smart Zerg won't contest it. They'll just make a sunken colony and then defend it that way. What about this side over here? It feels like you could fit it. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see over here. Can we fit something? No. No, 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 no. I mean, I guess it's the same thing here. That's actually so funny. Oh my god. Can I just fit it? Wait, can I fit a probe like up, like... Can I fit a probe like back here? I don't want to be there because it's like, it can get hit. I think this, I wonder if this can actually get hit by another drone or something. I mean, that's fine, right? And then you just make a cannon in here. And then you can probably, yeah, jump your way out. No, I don't think you can jump your way out. Yeah, it's not. I mean, again, I would only do this if it's gate cannon, bring the second probe, and then, you know, be more there. But yeah, I would not do it on Dominator. Yeah, it's kind of like Sylphid, right? You can't really do much about it on that kind of map. So the 4-player maps and stuff. You got ads. Are you back? You only ever cannon rush on 11. Yeah, 11 or 12 hatch. Never ever cannon rush 9 or 10 hatch. And that's something that, you know, I make mistakes on too, where like if you scout, you know, usually their hatchery comes down at like 145, so when your probe gets there, you know, you just want to keep that in mind. But sometimes my brain, you know, malfunctions and I think it's, you know, something. But like if it's, you know, if the hatchery's just really far along, then it's probably a 9 or a 10 hatch, and you don't want to cannon rush that. Because they already kind of, like, economically kind of gimp themselves from 9 or 10 hatch anyways, right? So, you know, don't try to rush that. Did you miss, what did you miss from what I said, Tasteless? Two probes with cannon rush on that map? 2 probes? Oh, you mean to just fight them head on? I wouldn't. It's just dicey. Because what if they just bring, you know, like 4 drones or something like that, right? Is that what you mean? You just mean like two probes so that if they bring 3 drones, you can just fight them head on or something? One to block. Yeah, I mean, I just wouldn't. Like, statistically, I just wouldn't. Just because, like, every Zerg, you know, like I said, sometimes they panic, right? And, like, they might bring 5 or 6. You know what I mean? Sometimes they just bring a ton of drones. And if that happens, then, like, you know, you're not going to be able... Your 2 probes aren't going to be able to do anything there. So I would just leave it up to chance in the wall off that you have. And if they get the drones over, then it's over. And if they don't, then you win. So it's kind of just like a flip in that regard. But I wouldn't bring more. It's just too risky, you know. That's why Forge Fast Expands on those maps are not great. Because you can't cannon rush. I feel like Zergs used to play Hatch first a lot on Sylphid, I think. I'm not sure. I don't really know how to play Dominator. Like I said, I'm not very familiar with these newer maps, but I think the rush distance is a little bit longer, if I'm correct. So if it's longer, you might be able to get away with like with not pylon scouting. So you can maybe amend your build to you can even maybe do like an 11 or 12 forge. And then if you scout them first, Nexus first against Overpool, and then Cannon, and I think you should be able to block that. But again, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if Dominator is a long distance run. It feels like a long rush distance, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, it is close? Oh, never mind. Is it like Gladiator? I know Gladiator is like really close on certain positions. If you're really close, then yeah, then I guess Gateway Expand is just superior on that map. That's the thing. Forge Fast Expand just kind of sucks, man. It just sucks. It's like, okay, Zerg, you know, you start with a 5% advantage. All right, peace out, man. All right, let's see it. Let's see it. Rapid fly up. You guys think this is a rapid? 26 cm. Fan. Rapids on the fly up, dude. Turn rate 24. Look at that. Crazy. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing. Jeez, like we just play all Protoss. We play one S rank Terran, we get a 2-fact with no scouting information, unfortunately. Go and scout. PvP is just a micro, it's like a micro map basically. That's just what it is. Micro practice. Control practice, right? Okay, 16 Bylon. I wonder if they're gonna go for the Kopi 2 gate. The 2 gate Cope. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Interesting. Look at that. They're going for against this, honestly, you could try to just do like a punish, proxy punish. So basically, what we're gonna try to do is just Reaver push them inside their base. I think this works. Actually, this might not work. I may have gotten my builds mixed up, unfortunately. Let's see if we can snipe their probe if it's coming this way. I don't know if it is. we're just gonna focus basically on all in. Every now and then you see stuff like this. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was not good. So, you know, that was a little sweaty there, but really just about microing, right? You know, so that's kind of like a punish. That is one thing that you should learn a like a technical punish for, just because you don't want to play on macro if you scout that, right? Like you really don't want to, just because Nexus First is just way too strong. Like even if you go Reaver Goon, like you might be able to do it, but it's very difficult. Because they're making so many zealots, they don't have any tech. Because they also need to afford cannons as well. As long as you just do that, then, you know. Just allows you to, I don't know. You know, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Is it gonna be more Protoss? Is this it? That's just Protoss? PvP all day? Yep, 2 gate and Robo. So proxy the Robo and the gate. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Sorry, fan. PvT. Indeed, Arco. Arco SC, your name looks like Unco SC. But I like you better than Unco SC. Alright, let's try to do PvT. We're gonna go macro mode, okay? Macro mode. Macro mode. I think this is what Shoop likes. Okay. Make that gateway. I'm so sad. I was kind of thinking about that loss with the against the 2 factory. Kind of sad. I should have just kept the good. I should have known something was a little bit fishy when I didn't see a vulture pop out, right? But that's fine. Sometimes that happens. Okay, you make that cyber core, everything looks very, very stable. I like to make my pylon wall early, you know, so that you can start to SimCity against vulture drops, right? It did come a little bit early, but I think this is a normal factory CC or factory open scout, a 13 scout from Terran. So I wouldn't assume that this is a racked expand. Again, it's always good to attack the SCV if you can. Every hit, every 2 hits means that well, can get it, got a little stubborn. Look at this guy, man. This guy's just juking me out. It's crazy. This guy is really B rank? That's crazy, dude. It's a conspiracy theory. I'm gonna go to the bottom right because we saw the SCV go left, right? It's not 100%, but usually they don't like to go back home. Right? Because you don't want them to chase you towards home. So I'm gonna hypothesize. They're somewhere adjacent to me. They have to be adjacent. I hypothesize they must be at the bottom. Yep, there they are. Factory CC. So we saw the CC, right? So I'm gonna bring my stuff back home. Move on with our build. See if I can actually even scout that SCV. I wonder if that's where it is. And sometimes you can kind of zone vultures out. Just because we're not as worried, right? Like, we know our opponent has to be, you know, like, it has a CC, right? So there's nothing to be worried about, right? There's no like, sometimes they can do some sort of aggressive one factory push, but, you know, it's usually fine. So you see how I'm kind of like fanning out my goons a little bit? And this is really to just avoid our opponent from being able to effectively, you know, lay mines, right? Like, just like this, right? We caught it, and this is actually a huge deal, right? Because now we don't have to worry about, yeah, I have range. But good question, because I forget it a lot. Oh, it looks like my probe got stuck, unfortunately. And when they don't block you, you're able to get your Nexus a little bit faster, right? And we're gonna send this immediately. We're gonna send, usually a 6 goons is good to pair your Nexus with, so we'll go ahead and do that. Although I don't have 6, but it's on the way. But because it's, you know, somewhat common for people to go dropships in this matchup, I would caution against, you know, like I would try to keep a couple of goons inside your main base. We didn't see anything come in the pathway, which is what the observer's trying to look for. We see siege mode, which means they don't have a lot of, you know, other stuff. Look at eBay on the way, right? So we're gonna go ahead and just move on with our builds. And against like a very passive kind of play, you know, I'm just gonna make 4 gateways just for safety, for, you know, a family-friendly stream. But I would usually be greedy here and just skip that. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this for family-friendly reasons. But because their build is so safe that, you know, it's just so tame that, you know, they have like no equity to really push or punish in any way, shape, or form. Especially siege mode. Siege mode is honestly not really meta these days. We get a forge. And a good thing to note in general is just because you make these gateways doesn't mean you actually have to use them, okay? It's good to just have the gateways, you know, just in case they come out with a special timing push or something, right? So it looks like they're just gonna go for an on-site third, which is fine. We're just gonna move on with our builds, right? So the most important part when you're in this kind of lull state is to really focus on your probe production, okay? Again, this is very different from what we've been learning in the other matchups where we're focused on combat a lot. Here, we're just purely focused on probes until we hit around 100 supply. And you can slowly make goons, but you don't really have to make them very much. Like slowly, don't prioritize them. And you know, when you have a, you know, around 100 supply, that's when you'll know you generally will be at around 65 workers, and around at that point, you basically have saturation to support, you know, 12 gateways. And at around 9 minutes, 9:30, you know, usually 9:30, you should probably have a gateway explosion, right? So we have 8 gateways. I like to move to at least 10. Can probably even afford a little bit more. It's good practice to just get like a cannon in each base as well, because vultures are annoying. I like making more observers and getting observer speed, right? They're all good things to get. And once you have about like 20 goons, go ahead and start prioritizing things like zealots, right? And in this kind of situation, I would actually, honestly, I mean, looks like they want to start like getting some, you know, stuff out on the map. I would probably try to play for a bust type of opener, right? So we're gonna, you know, see our supply shoot up, right? We're basically focusing on like, it's just like whack-a-mole, you know? We're trying to make as many, like have as little idle gateways as possible, right? And we're gonna hit really big supply very soon. And honestly, you should wait for a stasis, but you also don't have to. Notice how I'm just focusing all of my everything on macro right now. And sometimes it's just good to just try to shove in their base and see how it works, right? Make sure the goons kind of go in. Don't lose that. Make sure the zealots can also just run in. Sometimes it's important for your goons to also just like not lag behind as well. See if we can even just bust this. Can we? I don't know. And we can back up. And I would say that was a pretty successful bust. And the most important thing is we want to be very careful about not losing your Dragoons, right? Why? Because losing the Dragoons will relinquish control of your map control, right? And so once you lose some Dragoons, then I would just replenish them ASAP. I'll like basically prioritize that. See how the goons, see how they're coming out with their zealots over there? They're only able to do that because my goons are kind of, my goon count is low. But now I plugged that hole in, and we don't have to worry about that, and we get a bunch of free kills, right? And then once all that is done, you can go ahead and make more zealots again. And, you know, at this stage of the game, you know, we can even start making another, you know, Stargates, focus on our upgrades. I think it's really important in general to just like clear mines as much as you absolutely can. You don't want to lose map control, right? Especially, you see how they're just kind of sending stuff around nonstop. It's very common, right? You really just kind of want to do your best to take that away from your opponent. And if you can, I would start like making gateway farms out here. The more, basically you want to view gateway farms as like insurance, right? This is basically insurance. Insurance against, whatever. Go ahead and make some more, you know, units here. And we can try to go and like do recall-based play. If you're gonna recall their mineral line, let's assume that they have a 4th base at 6. It's always good to just send a bunch of zealots in there. Maybe not. He just leaves. So, you know, basically how you want to play is, you know, you can bust them if you can, and again, if you try to bust, you're just looking for trades, and sometimes it doesn't work, and that's fine. Can you explain a little further on the concept of map control? What is it? What advantages? Yeah. So, Brood War, like a higher level concept is, it's all about tempo. Right? Tempo is very important, not for just like the actual advantages that it has in the game, but also mentally speaking, right? And this is kind of like a important concept to know. Hold on, let me see. It's an important concept in general, just because like tempo, in RTS games, and actually like a lot of games or you know, sports or anything like that, um, it's always easier to premeditate, right? Like be on the offensive and plan your next steps, than to be on the defensive, guarding against your opponent's premeditated attacks. Does that make sense? Like, tempo is important because if you have tempo, you are the one who is making the move and you're premeditating the next several steps, right? And so you're kind of the puppet master and your opponent is responding, right? Tempo just means that you are the puppet master and your opponent's in a reactionary position, right? That's really important mentally as well, because it also just gives you control of the game. You're able to execute on your game plan rather than being reactionary to your opponent's game plan, right? So there's a mental aspect to it that's really important in Brood War. Now, as it pertains to map control in PvT, basically you want to bust, and if you bust or take a fight or whatever, you want to be careful about not losing your Dragoons, because your Dragoons are what gives you map control, right? It allows you to patrol the map. You can literally even just press patrol just to kind of like block all the pathways that the vultures can run, right? So that they cannot lay mines everywhere. If they lay mines, they gain two advantages. They know, one, that they have map control. Two, that they have vision of where your army is going. And three, the added benefit of just having a bunch of nukes on the ground that just randomly blow up stuff, which is very frustrating, right? And basically, the theory is if you're busting, only stay if you know you're actually crushing the fight. At a certain point, you have to recognize, okay, this is a trade, and if you're not crushing the fight, but you're trading, you have to pull back the goons, because the goons allow you to deny the vultures from setting mines. And if you lose the goons, you should prioritize remaking the goons ASAP, so that the vultures cannot get out there and set mines everywhere, right? And that's really, really important, because once Terran knows Terran has mines around the map, they know, they have vision, right? And when Terran has vision, they feel so much more comfortable, right? Because they know, oh, if they cannot be over here, they cannot be over here, they must be over here. If they must be over here, then I can push, right? Terran gets the most sloppy. They turn into Jin, you know? When they don't have vision, they don't know where their opponent is. The Protoss army swinging over, so then the Terran army comes back and they have to chase them, and then they're like, oh no, and then the Terran's like, oh, I feel like I gave them so much time. What do I do? Do I attack? Do I go back? Right? And that's Protoss tempo, right? Where Terran is lacking vision, even if they have map hack. Like, I don't even know why Terran complains about anything. They have map hack with Comsat Station, right? But but you guys get what I mean, right? Like, at least you force them to use their map hack rather than giving them a free map hack, which is mines around the map, right? Because they instinctively know that, you know, if their mines are set up in certain spots, they don't have a counterattack coming. If they don't have a counterattack coming, then they can focus on their primary attack. If they are focused on their primary attack, they're microing better, they're target firing better, they're setting up mines better. Like, their whole army powers up when they have vision and when they're not afraid of the Protoss movement. So that's why denying mines around the map, denying vision, taking away the ability for them to, you know, like fly around with vultures is the most important thing, because vultures only cost 75. They're the best unit in the game. You want to deny that from Terran. So hope that helps. What would you change if you went for a 2-base push like 5 or 6 factories? Yeah, good question. So with that build that I was doing, if I'm being super safe, I get my Nexus with 6 goons, and then immediately after I throw down 2 gateways, or 4 gateways, okay? By that time, the observer should be able to go inside the main base, unless they make a ring of turrets. If they make a ring of turrets, then you can't quite get in unless you bring 2 observers, right? So that'll take you like another 45 seconds or so, right? If you don't want to go in with 2 observers, then you're forced to basically play 3-base macro and slowly take your 4-base, right? Which is also okay, right? Because for them to make a ring of turrets, they have to make an extra turret, which also affects their economy a little bit. But you know, it's just a little bit frustrating for Protoss. In the case that they make 5 or 6 factories, you basically match it, right? So you have 3 nexuses, right? You stop making probes, because remember from our other lessons that if you have 41 probes, you can support 8 gateways, right? In PvT, if you have, you know, 6 goons, a third nexus at around 6:30, you're making probes nonstop for about 7 minutes. Again, you're gonna land at around 41 at like 7:30, maybe 8 minutes, right? So as long as you have that amount, you can support 8 gateway production. You're not really making, you know, Templars or anything crazy like that. So you just spam a bunch of goons, zealots, deprioritize your 4th base, deprioritize your tech, make a shuttle right away, right? And you basically just match their production, right? So that's the decision tree. Now, if you play against like Upgrade Terran, where they're not going for a push, you now have 4 gateways at your disposal. But like you saw in the game, you don't have to use the gateways, right? And that's an important concept in Protoss. And that's both important in PvP, it's important in PvT. You can make the gateways as insurance, and upon scouting your opponent, then you can use them. Just because you have the gateways doesn't mean you have to always produce from them, right? If you saw carefully in the game that I was playing, I prioritized getting my 4th base, I prioritized getting my probes immediately until 100 supply, and I only made goons when I had leftover money. You know, I wasn't constantly producing goons from those 4 gateways. So you shift your attention towards making probes, 4th base, tech, away from that into making workers. So hopefully that makes sense. During that game, you said that you would typically play more greedy when you say, oh, yeah. So for example, making the 4 gateways immediately, I would say that's like pretty standard play, right? But sometimes based off of certain map characteristics, certain, you know, whatever, like if they're playing Siege Opener off of Factory Command Center, that's a very defensive and nitty play, I'd say. If I see that, I wouldn't even make my 4 gates. You know, like he doesn't have a ComSat station. He's going eBay. His build really didn't make a lot of sense. So why do I need 4 gateways, right? So why don't I just go 2 gate into 4 nexuses immediately, right? So push up all of my macro and then make the 4 gateways afterwards and then make units afterwards. Instead of making the 4 gateways first, not using them, and then making the 4 nexuses. So that's a way you can play kind of, that's a little bit more exploitative, so to speak. I wouldn't recommend just doing that. I would do that in response to Terran playing really, really greedy or really defensive or passive themselves, right? However, that is punishable though by really good Terrans. They can notice you're doing that and then move out, and with really, really good micro, they could mow you down. So I would say use caution when you do that, but that is something you can mix in against Terran players. Hope that made sense. Alright, let's see if we can get maybe one more, and then I probably have to go feed the baby. Wow, I feel like these streaming sessions go fast. Okay, another Terran. Let's see if we can do the same thing. Tom Tom. Oh gosh, we got a lagger. Big lagger. Do the same thing. And you guys might notice that I like to be very OCD with my SimCity. This is actually very, like, not good, because making a pylon over there requires me to, like, run all the way over there to make some stuff. But it also is nice because if they drop below, then I could... Wait, is this Fighting Spirit or Polypoid? Jeez, I can't tell. Oh, and it's turn rate 8 too. Gosh, so bad. I think this is Polypoid, right? Funny thing is I'll never know because I'm not sending a probe out. The bad thing about this SimCity is I need another pylon to make another gateway, so... That's the price of my OCD. Price of my OCD. To have to travel such a far distance. But it's okay. Oh, no, no, it's Fighting Spirit. It is Fighting Spirit because of yeah, that's a one. Yeah, okay. It is Fighting Spirit. Oh, that's one way you can know, right? Like you can't fit a pylon up there. Okay, that's a factory, probably a factory command opener or a factory opener. Well, yeah, 13 scout, right? And adjacent. I can't imagine they go cross scout unless there's some sort of hip build order these days. You never know what these Gen Zers are doing these days, right? You know, these kids watching Light playing TVP on YouTube Shorts. Maybe he's posting on TikTok. You know, he's got some new builds. Who knows? Who knows what kids are doing these days? We're playing Boomer Toss, Boomer StarCraft. Nexus. Boom. Pylon. Yeah, we're playing Boomer StarCraft, dude. You're 23? You gotta respect that, dude. What the hell? It's very interesting. I don't know why as That's really fishy, honestly. I think this is a factory 2 fact, but I guess we have stuff out front here too, right? Is it though? I don't know. So confused. I mean, I guess no, it can't be, right? I mean, no, I guess it's just Rex. I don't know, actually. I don't know. Oh! Oh my god, I'm messing up. Oh my god, are you serious? Terran is so busted, dude. I thought he had 35. Wait, do SCVs hit faster? That's insane, dude. Yeah, you can. I would dive it, but his bunker is so far out that unfortunately, like, diving it would just hurt so much. You know, that's why, like, I just opted to stay in front, and then I was just gonna be very, very attentive over his positioning there. But I mean, let's see what he's up to. It's an armory. Oh. That was terrible micro. Ah! It's over. That's bad. I just I should have been able to block that. Like, I don't know why one of my goons went forward. That was really unfortunate there. Really, really unfortunate. Like, one of my goons immediately took damage and I just kind of malfunctioned. Okay. It happens. And also I lost a goon in the beginning too because I wasn't really watching, so. Yeah, he had another CC. Like, my goon almost died from the bunker because I wasn't paying attention, and you know, these things all happen. These things all happen. All right, PvP, S rank. We're gonna have to bump up the mechanics here. You can play 3-gate if you want, but. Say it's a very defensive opener, but I think if you want to go 3-gate ob, you do have to learn how to punish Vulture Terrans though. You don't want to play 3-gate ob purely defensively. Does that make sense? Like, if they go for something like, you know, Vulture drops or Speed Vulture Mine with like one tank, you want to learn how to punish that by pushing goons forward. And I notice most people who go 3-gate ob they don't punish it. They kind of just play 3-gate defensively. In that case, I would never go 3-gate. I think it's a bad build if you play defensively. I would prefer to go 2-gate into 4-gate, like the build that I've been doing. If you're gonna like always play defensively, so to speak, which is what I'm doing in these tutorial streams. Okay, I'm gonna have to try hard here. I want to. Oh, 2-gate. Okay. You know, I'm actually concerned that 2-gate might be the right play on this kind of map. I don't really know, because something about this reverse ramp can be a little bit concerning. Because on some maps like this, there was another map recently, or not recently, but like at some time ago, where playing this kind of 2-gate was actually the meta because of like the reverse ramp or something. Turn rate 14. Let's see if I can do it. Looks like I'm not quite seeing a gas yet, right? So this isn't a 21 gas. Oh! Basically, I think I lost. Ah! Oh, it's so annoying to get your Zealot trapped there on turn rate 12. It's so annoying. You're supposed to block the ramp and then try to force like a 2-on-2 there, but sometimes you mess up. Oh shoot, I probably should not have started the next game. Alright, hope my son doesn't grief. Okay, we got a random. We got a random. I was drinking some hojicha tea. Hojicha. Is this Pantheon? Turn rate 12 is the lag, if you look at the top left. It's just the unfortunate reality of Brood War Ladder, where laggy games are just like the latency of your unit response. Like turn rate 24 is supposed to be like the best, at least online. It's not quite LAN level, but this is a little choppy, so this might drop down to turn rate 24 high. It is unfortunately just like one of those things where your micro basically has to change based on the level of lag that you're facing against your opponent. We're gonna go, oh, they're random, right? Pylon search. Again, remember the game plan against this is to not panic. Zerg, look at that. Actually opening, you know, 9 full speed. In this case, I might actually just go straight for 2 gateways. We've been opening 1 gate, which is fine too. But against 9 full speed, just for safety, I would prefer to just play it this way. And the most important thing to like look out for here is just to really make sure that you're, you know, like whether they're going for a cannon, a layer opener or not. And so we can just actually do the shift click trick and see if they actually follow us, or if they, you know, just go straight to my base instead. I think they're actually going to my base. Go ahead and bring wings here. We'll go ahead and get some gas. I think, actually, I don't know what blocks. Does it block? I don't know, actually. I should be careful. No, dealing with Lings, honestly, it really just truly becomes a macro battle. Or an attention battle, rather. You just kind of have to pull back. If they're going for something like this, where they're macroing, you don't really want to prioritize attacking right now, just because like it's not really as consequential. Because you want to send zealots forward when, generally speaking, when like your opponent is teching, because when your opponent's teching, they have limited, what am I trying to say? Like they have less, you know, money, right? But when they're rich, they have a lot of money. So I wouldn't really bother with much of this. Oh, that's really painful. Just generally remember, like, this is taxing for your opponent as well, so not easy for them to do this. We go ahead and scout. The most important thing is to like kill the overlord that's like by your base. Once you have your DT out, you can go ahead and basically try to expand. Understandably, this kind of play is really difficult. But once you get these things out, you can go ahead and make all the things that you need to get. The most important thing actually is to make sure you get that gas ASAP. And yeah, also just like scout to see what your opponent's doing. It's really important to scout to see whether or not your opponent has any opportunity for like a Spire, right? Spire kind of complicates things a little bit. Once you have money, you know, now we imagine we should probably have, you know, adequate worker production, and then we're gonna continue to just pump up gateway counts and such. We do really want to make sure that, you know, our opponent does not have a Spire here, so we're just gonna keep looking. Okay, doesn't. I don't think he does. If he does, he really hit it well. Slowly trying to see, like, what are they up to? Not quite seeing a Spire anywhere, right? They're just playing very passively, it seems, right? We'll make a Robo. And there's the Spire. So move up to 8 gateways. Looks like they're gonna go for a lurker contain, which is gonna be painful, but have to deal with it. The way you want to deal with the lurker contain is basically stall as long as you possibly can, okay? And we want to load up on things like our load up on things like High Templars. And even maybe try to get like Templar energy upgrade. So basically we're trying to play a style where we have a ton of tech, okay? And just kind of slowly move out, okay? That's gonna be the name of the game. Just basically max out, wait till the very last second before you have to move out, and then just slowly move out. The only other concern is technically he can be going mutas, and I don't know if I'll be able to know. If he does, then that would be a brilliant play, and I'm just gonna tip my hat off to him if he does that. You know, I mean, I'll make a cannon in my main base, but generally speaking, if he goes for mutas, which he very much can, I guess what I could do is to just like toss this into their base and like, you know, sort of just like scout it. Yeah, I feel like there's no mutas. Yeah, it looks like it's Hive. Yeah, so there's no mutas. What we want to do here is basically just come out with one gigantic push and pray, okay? And once you're starting to like get ready to go out, I would start to maybe position your goons, put them forward. And literally just wait until you're like completely maxed out. And again, this might work. Maybe it won't. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. But, you know, this is what we're going to try to do. That's your game plan, okay? Hold position. Are they still out there? Oh, interesting. Looks like they may have just moved out. Okay. Surprised they would do that. But we are basically all in. All in. When I say all in, we are all in here. This is like our massive death push. Okay, we can make a base behind us, but I'm not really banking on that because they're on Hive Tech. And again, this is where we really have to focus a lot of your attention on the fight. Okay. Okay, looks like he's gonna kill that. That's okay. Again, we are all in. Not kind of in, we are all in. Focus, focus. Focus, focus. Alright, so we did it, and that was pretty dicey. But luckily, we were able to push out. Yeah. So I think, like, you know, we had to play from behind. He got a speedlings in my base, unfortunately, and killed some probes. But, you know, like, even if you're behind, if you focus on just, like, storming really, really well, you can get back into the game. So that was really nice. Thanks, y'all. All right.